Hello and welcome to ICEF Monitor. I'm sitting here with Carlos Robles, the president of Belta, and Belta just published a new market research report. Can you share a bit of information about this report? What were the major conclusions? What were the topics this report dealt with?
Yes, of course. Belta did the first report that was presented at ICEF Monitor last year. And what we did is we did a second report on 2013 over 2012, being able to, for the first time, to trace some graphics on the development of the international education market. The conclusions were what we were predicting last year or the year before. It was that language courses is the number one course that is demanded by the Brazilian market, and also the age of the Brazilian students that leave Brazil, it's remained the same between 18 and 30 years of age, which means that they actually need international education programs to upgrade their curriculum when they're going to the work of market. But there were new trends that we discovered, which is interesting to share. Some of them is that the number of weeks that the Brazilians stay abroad jumped from 4 weeks to 12 weeks. Which means that they are very keen on investing into international education and upgrading their curriculum for better chances of their market work when they're coming back. And also the trend that the Class C represents a lot in terms of growth of market. There is still like the target for most of the Brazilian agencies in order to really increase the number of volume in terms of business. It was seen that in 2012, the agencies have sent students abroad with a kind of a movement of $1.02 billion. So it's very significant in terms of the world market on international education.
Let's focus a little bit on the inbound destinations. Where do Brazilian students normally study abroad, or where do they like to go? Is there any movement? Are some countries on the growth?
Well, in 2012, we saw that the trend is to come to Canada. I don't know what the Canadians are doing to promote themselves, but it's working. So actually, Canada is number one destination in terms of language, but also surpassed the USA in terms of high school programs and also the work-related programs. Canadian schools and educator providers are the number one destination on these markets, whereas the United States is still the number one destination for graduation and post-graduation courses, which I think is related to our culture and the way that the Brazilians conduct academically. So they are much more familiarized with the American system in terms of graduation and post-graduation, and that's why I believe it was the number one destination for those programs.
You're an expert on the Brazilian market, and you understand the way how Brazilian students think, what are their wishes, what are their desires. So what can an institution do, or what can a country do to attract more Brazilian students?
I think to promote them as a safe destination, because safety is the number one concern for the students and parents. Also, the possibility of getting some work experience is very important. Brazilians, they don't want at this stage to immigrate to any countries, but they want to have a working experience to be able to come back and say, I'm entering the working market right now, but I have had an experience in some work abroad internationally. So that counts a lot in terms of getting employment in the future. So that's very important. And also how friendly the country is in terms of facilitating visas to come for Brazilians to go abroad and that. But I believe it's still number one item that is seen is safety.
Excellent. Was there any outcome out of this market research of the report which surprised you?
Yes, actually, there was. When we saw the new destinations in terms of tendency and trend, Malta came as a new destination for Brazilians, as well as South Africa and China. Surprisingly for me, China is attracting attention to the Brazilians in order to see a different culture, and it shows like why China is opening and the results of that.
Thank you so much for coming, Carlos, and thank you for sharing your information, your wisdom with our audience. ICEF Monitor is going to keep you posted on the development in Brazil and Latin America. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.